Hold
I, okay. Dude, it
on.
just started.
Yeah. All right, guys. We apologize. We apologize. We had a issue here. So let's go ahead. That was a mistake on my side. So let's go ahead and restart again. Welcome to a new episode of a live edition of the Stick and Move podcast. We are talking today, like it says on the thumbnail right there, is Canelo being a duck or is there some kind of mad genius going on for Canelo? He is all over the news, all over the press, all over YouTube. His name is getting thrown into the mud. And as homers like Sam and I are for Canelo, we want to clear the air a little bit, and not only that, but also give our two thoughts. So Sam, is he being a duck, or is there some kind of mad genius going on here? Talk to me, bro.
Right, look, right now I can't call him a duck.
Hmm.
Right. First of all, the Mungia fight, I've seen it all over the internet that it's an official fight. It's not official. I
Mm,
just saw the interview 2, 3 hours ago with Eric Morales. He said there's still negotiations to be made.
right,
And
right,
but second of all, if it were to be Mungia for May 4th, dude, he is a far more dangerous fighter than Charlo.
right,
Charlo
right.
is somewhere in the Bahamas getting drunk. Mungia is a dangerous young lion, and he said he's going to be ready if it happens with Canelo. He's going to be ready for May 4th.
Let me
Go
ask you
ahead.
this, not to cut you off. What did you think about the whole PBC thing? Supposedly, now we know with boxing and rumor mills and everything like that, especially with social media, we hear one thing and then all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, it's a totally different story. What did you think about PBC making a deal, if I'm not mistaken, for 35 or 45 million to fight Mungia? And then I could be saying this wrong, but the part that I do know is that no, he wanted more to fight Jamal Charlo. What do you think about Canelo looking for that Jamal fight? What was your thoughts about that?
I mean, look, I think that for him to come out of the PBC, of course, we don't know the exact details. There was obvious something he didn't like.
Hmm.
Maybe they had an opponent in front of him he didn't like, and it sounds like Matchroom just Eddie Hearns. They're gonna pay him way more money for these fights.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? And I just feel that he got out of PBC. I don't think it was about ducking David Benavidez.
right.
I think that it was probably some type of contract dispute on dates. Hey,
Right, right.
it could have been anything. Um, Look, man, going back to your first question, is he a duck? I cannot call him a duck right now. I
Right,
think he has a master plan that he don't even have to talk about. The media's doing it itself. It's
right, right.
hyping this fight with Benavides to the skies, bro. And
Hmm.
Floyd did it with Manny Pacquiao.
Right, right,
7 years into the making. It
right,
was a little too late. Do I feel David Benavides is and Canelo's gonna happen? I honestly do, bro.
right.
I think it's gonna happen for September. And I think that what he's doing right now is genius, bro. He's
Hmm.
letting everybody hype up the fight. I've heard the purse go up to like 55 or 60 million already for David Benavides. Dude, it's a spectacular genius move. Of course, if the fight doesn't happen in September, then I'll have to say it, man. Canelo's a complete duck.
Look, this kind of reminds me of LeBron James when he went to the Heat. Going up to the Heat, when he became that first time free agent. LeBron was renowned. Oh my God, he's just amazing, unbelievable physical talent. And all of a sudden, he decides he wants to graduate from high school, go to college, and he wants to join the Miami Heat with his best friends. All of a sudden, he has that press conference where he makes his announcement, kind of looked bad. It was bad PR. And then you know what happens, bro? He becomes the villain. That whole next year, he became the villain. He even made a Nike commercial. I don't know if it was Nike or Gatorade or one of those kind of commercials where he became the villain. And interestingly enough, in my opinion, He embraced that. I think that's what Canelo is embracing as well. He knows for a fact that right now his name is being thrown in the mud 100%. We've seen it everywhere. You and I share links behind the camera about um, who said who about Dan Raphael and all these other great boxing journalists saying that we cannot believe what's happening to Canelo, that he's ducking Benavides and so on and so forth. I'm not quoting, by the way. So when I see that, I think he's taking the bait. Canelo is trying to throw bait out there to build up the fight, like you said. And you and I have talked about, I think on our last live episode, you and I talked about how Canelo, the money's not right now. The money is on the buildup. Let's
Yeah.
remember, Benavides, he's only been hot news for about a year and a half, 2 years. Okay. Benavides should be happy that he is on the right side of history currently on this negotiation. Canelo, in my opinion, right now, he's playing the long game. Like you said before, like you and I talked about on that early episode when Benavides fought Andrade, our live episode. This is a build-up game. Guys, what do they always say? What did they always say? Never, what do entertainers, what do athletes say when they get their contracts? Never touch or never mess with my money.
Yeah.
You think Canelo's the same? You think he's the exception to that rule? He is exactly the same. And to be honest with you, I think it's also mad genius because right now he is going to live with the fact that yes, his name is getting thrown in the mud right now. He is living with the fact that people are saying he's not a true Mexican fighter. What was it that you messaged me earlier about Mike Tyson? What did he put?
He's never married. He's never met a coward Mexican.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right?
that's what he was. He was saying something along those words.
And believe me, Canelo's been on his podcast. Canelo looked up to Mike Tyson. You know, Canelo is a mini Mexican version of Mike Tyson. And I guarantee you that stung him a bit. But win, lose, or draw against Benavides, he's laughing to the bank. He knows that the home stretch is coming for him. He knows that, you know what? I'm going to milk this for as much as possible.
Yeah.
You want 55 million? Hello, I want 105 million. And the longer he plays this out, the higher the bill gets. Now, I will say this, and I'll go back to you. I apologize for taking so much time. Mungia is no slouch. I've been following this guy for since the pandemic era. He is no slouch. He will actually fight against Canelo. Canelo's been lucky in the sense that hardly any of his boxing, his opponents want to get in the center of the ring with them. And Mungia will do that. He also has an iron chin. I don't know if Canelo wants this fight, which is maybe why I think the contract has not been signed yet. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, look, the Mungia fight, if for me, at least in my opinion, and I think you'd agree with me, is a more dangerous fight than the Charlo fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think, believe it or not, bro, believe it or not, this is where maybe the fans are gonna go nuts on me. But dude, Mungia could be a bigger threat than David Benavides.
Bro,
Dude,
I agree.
I mean, after what I saw, what he did to John Ryder and what he's done throughout his career, the dude is hungry, bro. He's a
Mm-hmm.
savage. He
Mm-hmm.
could take punches. I was not a huge fan of him, but ever since he started training with Eric Morales and now Freddie Roach, dude, he just got sharper, bro.
He did.
You know, and there's no denying. And so, I mean, right now it's not official, but I do think it's a mad genius move from Canelo, and the purse is just going to get higher, bro.
The
Honestly,
more hate there is for this fight, because look, this is one of those fights that is taking. It's a black and white scenario, you know, where one side is completely becoming evil, hated. Like I said, name is torn through the mud here, being dragged in the mud. And Benavides, brand, he is getting one. This is pretty close to getting 100% approval rating for Benavides.
yes.
Now, is he innocent in all this? If he wasn't messing around with his weight fluctuation 2 years ago when he was a mandatory for Canelo, then yeah, that could have been that. I think that was more on him a couple of years ago if he was more disciplined. Now that he has the discipline, he's going to have to wait it out. And I'll be honest with you, I would not be surprised if Canelo's people and Benavides' people had a conversation behind the cameras and said, "Look, man, I don't mind putting my dragging my name through the mud. I'm going to beat you anyways. Let's milk this. I'm going to make it as bad press as possible because what is the famous phrase? Even bad press is good press, right?"
Yeah, exactly.
And I think I wouldn't be surprised if they came to an agreement somewhere behind the camera and they were like, you know what? That's a good idea. We can both make generational wealth after this fight. Yes, 35, 55 million is a lot of money, but I think they could times that maybe 2 and 3 for each one of them. Of course, Canelo being the A side of that. You have any thoughts on that? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And y'all gotta, another thing that Jaime Mungia mentioned, he goes, the whole fight with Canelo was already planned since last year.
Yeah.
He was saying that they had already mentioned him that you were gonna probably fight, Canelo May 4th, and but it wasn't 100% sure thing. Canelo's camp told, I guess, Mungia's camp, hey, we don't want you fighting until we fight, and he said I couldn't risk it. He goes because if I didn't fight in January, waiting for Canelo. And if Canelo doesn't happen in May, he goes, I would miss the opportunity. I'll be screwed without a fight for months and months and months. So he goes, I had a fight in January.
Right.
Whenever it was that he fought, when did he fight?
It was
Against
December. I think it was December.
John Ryder.
Oh yeah, January. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was January, and then so I think it's a genius move.
All
I
right,
think
we
it's a
gotta
genius move.
go ahead. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Finish your thought. Go finish your thought.
Yeah, I think it's a genius move, and it's like we've been talking about right now. I think it's the media that's pumping up this fight,
Right.
and right now Canelo's the villain, bro, and I think he's happy with it.
All right, we got a question from my man, the famous Aiken McCall here. He says, "What's good, fellas? You guys know I don't like how Canelo moves, but I think everyone needs to wait till the end. Canelo is waiting for the winner of 175 75-pound winner, Bivol Beterbiev slash Benavides. Big, big money. Talk to me. How do you feel about the famous Aiken McCall's tweet or comment for us on that?
Dude. I mean, first of all, the I get it. If they have some type of tournament clash, whatever, and the last man,
Like behind the camera, like a little tournament going on between the four.
yeah. But the thing is, how long will that last, though? I
Mm,
mean, how when will we got to see Canelo in September?
right.
Who's you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I understand that logic, but Canelo needs a fight May 4th.
Right.
He has to announce it, bro.
Right. Right.
And then September. And I don't know. Do you really think that David Benavides is going to want to risk a huge purse with Canelo and sign to fight somebody else right now?
Oh, that's so tough. And by the way, famous Aiken McCall, we love your questions. Your comments every week have been phenomenal. And Sam and I are trying to get back to you on the comments you've left on previous episodes. But look, to answer your question,
Is he going to risk
I
the purse and try to? What if he loses to Beterbiev?
right, right. And we're talking about Benavides, right?
Yes, I know, but the thing is, right now the hot seat is Canelo, and the
Hmm.
big ticket is Benavides. If you're David Benavides, are you going to see what happens in September and maybe fight somebody else, this summer? Or, I mean, are you going to risk taking a loss against Bivol or Beterbiev
Well,
and possibly lose it to
my
Canelo?
stance on my stance on Benavides. I really don't buy his boxing technique. To me, I just there's better styles out there, and I think it's a bad mix for Canelo. I think Canelo, he's seen every single style of fighting from Floyd Mayweather to Cotto to everybody to Triple G. Nothing has surprised Canelo yet. Um, I will say this about
I
Benavidez.
don't, I don't, I don't want to see Canelo 175, bro. But go ahead, go ahead.
Well, this is what I want to get at. Benavidez needs to lay low. I think he's going to challenge a lower rank top contender at
That's what I
175,
heard.
and I think that's okay. That's a little bit safer. He does not need to get into jungle right now with Bivol or Better Beef, or unless it is Mungia or Canelo. Those are the three guys at 168. I kind of feel that Canelo is he knows that not to go to 175 again. I'll say it. I'll put it to you that way. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we got another comment here. Hopefully, uh, the famous Aiken McCall that helps with your question there. We got Native Wildman. Same thing, my man. Always giving us good help. Always promoting our podcast. We want to say hi to you as well. We
What's
appreciate
up, Native Wildman? What's up, man?
the love and the comments, guys. Keep them coming. But let's continue with the show here. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the duck side. You brought up earlier. If in September he does not fight Benavidez, or who knows, maybe even in May, right? In September. September is your last call for Canelo to make this fight happen. Talk to me. Hold on. What if he actually meets Bivol at 171 or 172? Would that give you the okay for Benavidez to push back Benavidez another 6 months or a year?
Yes. If he goes for the rematch with Bivol, bro, I mean, first Bivol has to try to, survive Better Beef. But if he does the rematch, if saying Bivol beats Better Beef, let's just say, dude, that'll be huge. That'll be huge if he beats Better Beef, bro, and then meets Canelo at 171, 172, or 170. Then yeah, I don't care about the whole David Benavidez thing.
I will say that is the only way he gets through with it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. And that's the only delay where I could see it's okay to push off Benavidez to 2020 to 2025 year. Native Wildman message us again. I just got done eating red beans and rice. Sounds delicious. I wish we could join you, my man. But yeah, I'll say this. Look, for me, man, something about me personally. I wear my Mexican heritage on my sleeve. I even have a Mexican flag that I use to hold my books on my bookshelf. And I'll be honest with you, bro. If he fights Mungia, takes care of business, or it's a very competitive fight, maybe a 7-5, 8-4 kind of fight, Canelo wins, good, entertaining fight. And let's say he goes to September and fights, I don't know, like Andrade,
Yeah.
Oh, man. And you know me. I mean, I have Canelo right
Nah,
behind
bro.
me. I have Canelo right behind me. That is very political nowadays. People will not subscribe to us just because of my poster in the back. I am a huge homer for him, but if he was to sign up with anybody else, his 3 matches that he can only do after Mungia, if he does fight him in May, in September, to push off Benavidez, in my opinion, is Bivol, Beterbiev,
Yeah.
or maybe the Mungia fight was so entertaining that the people want a rematch.
Needed a rematch.
That is it. That's the only way I'm okay pushing off Benavidez. But like I said, my colors run hard for the Mexican flag, American, of course, even though we're both Mexican American. But if he pushes off and is fighting Andrade or Jamal Charlo or something like that, I'll be the first one to say he is without a doubt a duck. Any thoughts on that?
I'm 100% behind you, bro. If he doesn't fight Mungia, the fight doesn't happen. And he fights an Andrade or Caleb Plant. He doesn't give us the David Benavidez. Let's say he's a duck. Let's say he fights Mungia and he edges it out. Or if it's a robbery, bro. What if Mungia wins by our eyes, but they give it to Canelo because business-wise, Canelo has to win this fight?
He has to.
For DAZN or Matchroom to make their money. Because,
and that, yeah.
No, but if he doesn't fight David Benavidez, Bivol for the rematch, then he's a duck.
I'll say this too, man. Look, if that Mungia, you and I talked about this. I brought this up on a previous live episode. That when the PBC deal was made, he had a 3-fight, what was it, 3-fight deal, 4-fight deal with him, something like that.
Three fight.
The 3-fight deal. And I was like, I have a feeling that this third fight would is going to be a version of handing the baton to the next generational fighter. And if they rob Canelo or Mungia into that, then it's going to be a shame. But I will say this too. Mungia, if he does, how can I put this? The only way Mungia is going to win this fight, bro, especially with Benavidez looming, is by knockout. That is it. He cannot go 12 rounds. I don't care if it's 9-3 or 8-4 or 11-1 fight where it's evident they're going to give it to Canelo, man, because they got to make that Benavidez fight, especially now with boxing networks canceling, especially now with PBC going out of business pretty much, especially now that there's no streaming services that are really offering anything to boxing, and boxing has been on the decline. They need to make Benavidez Canelo happen. We got another comment here, reply from the famous Aiken McCall. He goes, but I thought Benavidez is fighting Vosdick for the interim. Yeah. WC 175 title. That winner fights the Bivol, better be a winner. That's why I mentioned Canelo waiting for that. Also, Canelo wants Bivol for a rematch.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of truth to what you're saying. And I'll say this too. Well, let me ask you, let me put it on you, put you on the spot a little bit. Do you think, because Canelo's a competitor, they're all competitors, all athletes are competitors, of course. Do you think he loses sleep? What does he lose more sleep on? Better being his name getting dragged through the mud for Benavidez, or his loss to Bivol?
Bivol.
Talk to me.
Yeah, it's just that he wanted it, bro. He wanted the rematch. You know, and they've asked him, and he goes, yes. He goes, I want the rematch with them, but you know, now Bivol, since Bivol won, there's you know, things that Bivol wants that he can't give. Bivol wanted more money, supposedly. Bivol doesn't want to budge from the weight class. He doesn't want to meet Canelo in the middle, and that's the problem we're having. But I think that what do you think? What if Bivol loses to Better Beef? Does Bivol fighting Canelo salvage not fighting David Benavidez?
I think Benavidez, Bivol, and Better Beef. Sorry, I'm trying to blank here, and Canelo to an extent. If they're losing to each other, it doesn't hurt their legacy. It's not hurting them personally. If Bivol loses to Better Beef, which by the way, for me, in my opinion, I think Better Beef would beat Bivol. People would still pay top dollar, in my opinion, for the Bivol Canelo rematch. You know, what do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that he'll still get hit. You know, he'll get the respect if he beats Bivol, regardless if Bivol loses to Better Beef or not. But it would just make it that much bigger if Bivol wins and beats Better Beef.
I have a thought. I want your opinion on this, and guys on the comments, tell me what you guys think as well. You know, I honestly think when Canelo lost to Bivol, it shook him to the core. Going back to, is he losing more sleep on Benavidez or Bivol? I think it shook him to the core. The 2018 to 2022 Canelo was beyond special.
Yeah.
He was chopping heads, taking names. He was fighting the most often. He was taking down anybody, any challenge that he wanted, he went after. Anybody go asking him, go fight Triple G, go fight him again. Yes, yes, yes. Was there complications in the middle? Yes, of course. That's boxing, right? That's what negotiation is all about. I think when Bivol beat him in 2022, I think Canelo went into that fight, into my opinion, not comfortable at 175. I don't think he was comfortable at that weight. But he, at the same time, I think he underestimated. He's like, look, I fought every style. I know what to expect. He goes into 175, kind of, I don't want to say overconfident, But I think that when Bivol snatched his soul in that fight, ever since then, he's kind of been hesitant to throw his name into the next up and coming challenger because that's what it's been looking like. Is it Crawford? Is it Benavidez? Who is the next guy?
So
Ever
you're
since
saying, that he really wants Pivot.
I think he cannot sleep at night until he fights Bivol again.
Yeah, I agree.
Not only wins, or at the very least, look, man, I put in everything into training. I gave the best fight possible, and I just came up short. I think he left a lot on the table going against Bivol, and he got taken to school. And I think he thinks, I'm not saying it's true or not, I think he thinks that he was a much better fighter that night, and that's why ever since then he's been very careful in selecting opponents. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I saw the interview after the Pivot, and he said that he saw where his mistakes were made.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think he has another plan of attack to beat Pivot.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought he was going to be able to do what he always does to all these bigger guys
Mm-hmm.
by hurting, punching their arms and numbing their arms and, a different style. But I knew before that fight happened, bro. I knew. I remember you telling me about it. I was like, dude, this is way too dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Way too dangerous. Bivol is a 175 pounder with a boxing style of a welterweight.
Yeah.
It was just way too dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he can't sleep without, he wants that rematch. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bivol is the plan for September.
Okay, so just to make things clear, you think he is being a mad genius in playing off the fight to raise the stakes, right?
Yes, yeah, he's being a genius in my opinion. Yeah. I cannot call him a duck now until we see what happens for September.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. Like I said, brought out the Mexican flag and everything. The only exception to September is if it's better beef, Bivol, or a rematch with Mungia, because that May fight was an epic clash. That is it to pushing off Benavidez to 2025.
100% agree.
And if that's the case, I'm like you. I have to wait until that September bout to call him a duck. But for right now, I think he's driving up the dollar price. It's working in his favor. He wants to build the hate because people now more than ever want to see him not only get the fight of the fights that everybody wants, but wants to see him go down. And I think he's living up to that bill. So we'll leave it at that, my man. Do you have any comments for our listeners out there?
Hey, I just want to thank everybody, for watching, our channel, sharing, liking, and commenting. And we're going to try to reach out to everybody. And thank you, guys. Please share the channel. We're trying to, grow the channel to at least 1,000 by the end of the year, hopefully, with y'all's help. And I appreciate everybody here.
Guys, you guys have been amazing. Native Wildman, the famous Aiken McCall. You guys mean a lot to our podcast. Keep the comments coming. Go ahead and keep promoting us. We appreciate everything. And until next time, don't forget to stick and move. And by the way, real quickly, new episode tomorrow's top 3. What was it going to be? Top 3 greatest heavyweight knockouts of all time. So if you logged in, wait till that episode tomorrow. You guys get the sneak peek on that. And we'll leave it at that. So until next episode, my man, don't forget to stick and move.